welcome back to Worlds 2023 as we're in the middle of this series with T1 and BLG going head-to-head in a best-of-3. Game number 1 was very T1 favored, and they are one game away from punching their ticket to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, that was some BLG right there, yeah.
I mean, I love this stat because I think it's crazy that throughout T1's history, in group stages, they only ever drop one game at most. And because they've dropped that to Gen G, the other teams are like, oh.
I'm sorry, the quota's been filled.
Yeah,
that's the one.
The quota has been filled, and right now, T1, they're at they're at 3 wins. They're looking to make it 4 and qualify for the quarterfinals. We're straight into draft. Azir Renata taken away from the side of BLG with Rakan and Maokai on the side of T1. I do wonder if this Senna will actually be looked to ban away or if the Xayah will still make its way through the draft.
I wonder how different things are going to look with T1 on the red side, too, compared to what we saw in the previous game. How is that going to switch things up? What is BLG going to have? The Rumble banned away as the final one here in the first half, so the Senna's still around.
Yeah, Senna's still available. I do like some of the changes that have occurred here with BLG on the blue side, though, in trying to attack T1. They take away the Azir themselves, and Nico was already self-banned by T1, and those two champions were really at the crux of the resurgence of this team. Does mean they're going to give up the Xayah, so sought after in the bottom lane, but the duo combo here of the Orianna Jarvan for T1, that is some nice, sweet engage.
The Renata ban is still a bit of weird to me. Like, they put such a high priority on it, they really don't want Keria to get his hands on it.
Yeah, I mean, they still ended up getting super pushed in bottom lane because of the Senna Tahm Kench. But I think that's what they're trying to avoid. You know, a lot of those, like, Kalista is available, so you don't want the Renata plus Kalista. You don't want the Renata plus Draven lanes.
They lock in the Syndra now. They did have the Vi, and I do always like Vi into things like Orianna, because again, we saw this earlier in the day. Once the flash is gone, she's a very easy champion to lock down, but Jarvan into Syndra, I also think is really good. Like, these junglers can do a great job of locking these things down, but BLG trying to solidify their top side, and they have a lot of strong picks in terms of the early game with Syndra and Xayah, and then giving Bin a comfort is super important for them.
Yep. Yeah, exactly, because last game, something that was not drafted at all, that was the top lane matchup, and Zeus really, really destroying Bin with his Gnar specialty counter pick into it. And this time around, this is an older counter into the Jax. The belly bump tactic for Jax for the counter strike.
There's a lot of mobility skills across the champion roster in League of Legends, and Gragas' big old belly takes priority over pretty much all of them. As long as he's going forward when you're going, he's going to stop you and do the damage. So very, very powerful champion, especially if you know the matchups, you know the trading patterns. He can be very difficult to deal with. Blitzcrank, Caitlyn banned away here in the second half. Once again, it's BLG keeping Gumayusi off the Kate.
Yeah, very, very interesting. Seeing as how the Senna was just pretty impactful this last time around, I guess BLG are like, you know what, we level 1 invaded, and we really messed that whole situation up, so I guess they're accounting for it that way. Keria is such a good Tahm Kench, though. Loves being that frontline engage, and we saw it last time.
But the thing is about Senna Tahm Kench, if you're on red side and you're saving them for the last 2 picks, one of them has to come first, and then you can't get the other until your opponent has a chance to interrupt it. When Senna and Tahm Kench are popular, they're kind of best friends. They're BFFs down there in the bottom lane. They like to hang out with each other and not really anybody else. So I'm curious if they'll still go for it. No, they won't. The Jinx locked in for T1.
Yeah, I don't...
How do you feel about this, Vedius?
We did see a Jinx earlier in the tournament. It was KT that I think played it. And I'm pretty sure it was in yesterday's match against LNG. And I think the problem with Jinx in the current meta, she's a really hard AD carry to play. When there's so many things that can dive onto your backline, she can be a challenge. But I guess with things like the Jarvan already unlocked in on the side of T1 with the Gragas disengage as well, they're confident in their ability to provide peel and protection, but if this Jax, Alistar, ever gets on top, like, that Jinx is dead. There's no way that she's playing this game.
Yeah, there is quite a lot of peel for it, and the lane still looks pretty good considering it's a Xayah Alistar lane that they're playing into. There's some more guaranteed targeting of the possibilities for that Jinx.
Jinx is not going to have fun, man. It's Arcane all over again. We're about to get a sneak peek at Season 2.
What do you mean, man? She was the main character of that show. How can the main character not have fun?
Okay, Tahm Kench is a good answer.
Yeah.
It is also pretty good at putting some pressure onto the Orianna. I want to see if there's not a level 1 that's similar to last time around, if there's more attention paid to this mid lane, because both these mid laners, very, very possible that you can burn summoner spells super early on and try and force ganks with these junglers.
All right, I love it, man. Active, powerful early junglers. We got the counter pick in the top lane, the old school style with the Gragas into the Jax. Ori versus Syndra. This is probably the most evergreen mid lane matchup in the history of League of Legends esports. I feel like this is one of those ones everybody's seen so many times. But the Jinx, and specifically the ability of the Tahm Kench to keep it protected, is probably the biggest thing I'm going to be looking at.
Yeah, I actually love watching Ori Syndra too, because there's so much how you can swing it in the early stages of dodging those Qs and positioning just a little bit more aggressively up front too. But of course, that all teeters on do you know where enemy jungle is? So see about those Raptor wards, about those deep early safety nets.
I wonder if we're going to get any level 1 activity.
I'm going to say no on this one. I'm going to hazard a guess.
Are you kidding? You think they're going to back down after that?
Well, it certainly skewed the early game of this this first round here in this best of 3. BLG really, really wants to avoid that situation. Bring us to a game 3. Keep their chances alive at avoiding the competition tomorrow and getting the early ticket to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I think they do definitely at least need to get some early info on Oner. The Jarvan could start a snowball himself. Definitely could throw a wrench into things here.
All right, a reminder to everybody out there, connect your League of Legends account with Prime Gaming to grab the exclusive experimentation emote. You can do that right now. Get yourself connected, get your emote, start spamming it on people whenever they do something wacky in lane.
How do I get the Braum one? That seems to be the most popular.
We are the wrong people to ask that question to, Kobe, but I respect your confidence.
Yeah, I'm glad you trust the two of us with that question. As Zeus just walking it off here, wants to get away from Ben, who gets that last little hit. So, hey, a little extra HP from Grasp.
Love it. Okay. The value here. Keria also going to take a nice
he
little
didn't put
chunk.
the ward down. I thought that his goal there was to get the ward on the red to see where this Vi was starting.
T1 donating some early health pools here.
Yeah.
They're not off the members of T1 that are going to miss them the most, with Gragas, innate sustain, and Keria tankiness, but nonetheless, it is going to be BLG again going to the same red buff that they went to last game.
Yep.
This time around, though, they're on blue side, so it's there.
But the squad is there.
Yeah, the squad is there.
BLG's like, I'm watching you, T1, just in case.
We know that this is something you might do because we did it ourselves.
But admittedly, Elk and On realized that in the 2v2, they're not getting early push. Tahm, Kench, Jinx, the range advantage. Tahm is a really... Alistair's not the best level 1 anyway.
In fact, he sucks. Let's just go ahead and say it. You can say that.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. And Tahm Kench is a really great bully, so Elkin on getting late to lane is not the end of the world. Level 2 should be coming through in a minute from these bot laners. But yeah, I wanted to go back and talk about this mid matchup a little bit more, because the idea behind Syndra into Orianna is that you have a range advantage, right? The Q means that you can often out-trade against the Ori in lane. The thing about Ori, though, is that early laning phase, you can already see she's starting to get this push off. And when it comes to early skirmishes, Syndra is very terrifying because of her ability to set up for the gank, right? The QE, you can already get it at level 2. With a Vi coming in as well, easily able to force a flash out from someone like an Orianna, and a Jarvan in this matchup won't be able to match that same trading power in the mid lane 2 versus 2. So this is a lane, again, that BLG can really find advantages in if they can be active in the mid lane.
And the reason I love watching it so much is because you can ego on them from the other side of it. We've even had Oriannas getting the solo kills on the Syndras.
That's true.
Especially if you have unpredictable movement, like walking towards it and dodging some of these Qs and move up on them. So definitely one that's very tiltable, as we said, but full clears for both junglers mean it's a calm early game. No extra influence here.
It's kind of one of those things that we talked about in game number 1, Vedius, where we were like, oh yeah, I can't wait to watch top lane, and everything was bottom. We're like, oh man, look at these junglers, it's Jarvan and Vi, and they can both do so much, and they're like, full clear. Let's go ahead and just get those economies rolling.
Now, Ben doing a good job, though, gets his grasp off, even as Zeus goes for the belly bop. Winning the mana war here currently as they both eat their biscuits.
So it's a reminder. Oh, hang on a second. Might have to hold off on that as Jun navigates his way around the vision.
I like this.
We talked about the gank setup early on. FLICKR has no idea
Shun coming around. There's the stun. Scatter the weak. FLICKR tries to flash, but Yagao's got him for first blood. Counterattack from Oner, but doesn't look like there's a whole lot to get here. Nah, the Jarvan's probably not strong enough for this. Oner loses his own flash. That was a little silly.
Yeah, they're going to be able to rush down the wave still here, too, with FLICKR teleporting back. Yagao is so good. That was beautiful. Able to set him up. He kind of lures FLICKR in. FLICKR goes for the command attack, and Yagao's able to get him, throws the W, hits the stun, lines it up for Shun so that Shun can then have his flash for FLICKR's flash and secure that kill. Really well done. Yagao, probably one of the least hyped up members because he usually, to your point earlier, Vedius, is playing a lot of roam style champs and setting up teammates, but him getting first blood, so nice having Syndra get the early advantage.
It's just also a lane that you can snowball. We already talked about it earlier, right? A lane that you can be active in early on. The fact that Shun choosing to sacrifice the crab because he saw an opportunity to make that play on the FLICKR, navigating around that vision, just very well played. BLG being active in the early game is the best version of BLG in my opinion. And the play is very straightforward. Low mana on the side of FLICKR as well. That auto attack from Yagao flying as he flashes too is actually what cements the kill, as Jun is able to flash after and provide that damage. Been getting kind of low, but I don't think he's too worried right now. Keeping my eyes on the minimap as well as to the presence of the junglers. Oner pathing away as he moves towards his wolf camp. Bin? No.
No.
He's just saying don't.
Oh,
he is!
Oh, it does!
Oh!
Zeus went back in thinking he might find an outplay, and Bin just beats him on the head with a stick.
Uh-oh, no flash FLICKR.
FLICKR doesn't get hit by the scatter of the weak, but it doesn't even matter. The unleashed power should be enough. FLICKR's just buying some time. Beautiful from BLG in game 2.
Now this is BLG. Bin, I thought he was just saying, don't you dare come for these minions, and I guess he was. But then Zeus still dared for it. Body slam just inside, and really good from Bin. Activation time there. Pops his counter-strike, gets the kill. Simultaneously getting the repeat gank onto mid too, punishing the no flash here. That's the snowball you're talking about. They're so vulnerable, these mages, when they don't have it, and it's going to be a knock-on effect. Dominoes here will start to fall. Shun picks up the dragon as well.
And you look at Oner and you're like, where can you do anything, right? Maybe you can look for a kill in mid, maybe, but Yagao still has the flash, and if Vi is there, you lose that 2 versus 2. Top lane doesn't really have enough damage or options to be able to find a play in. Jinx, Tahm, Kench, is this really a lane that you can enable in the early game? T1 feels very stifled, and Oner's kind of responsibility is to mitigate BLG's early options, but that hasn't happened. BLG have found great plays in mid and a big confidence play for Bin. After getting solo killed in game 1, he now finds a solo kill for himself on one of his most comfortable champions.
All right, let's see where our junglers end up getting involved once they hit level 6. You can see those EXP bars on the side of the screen creeping ever closer to that point. Both of those ultimates incredibly effective at setting up some plays as Bin wants to go in on Zeus, who knocks him back into the cask. But the Jack's still so strong, man.
Hang on.
Such an iconic pick
Here
for
we go.
Bin, and he's not afraid to use it. Zeus gets killed again. Bin is just tearing him apart.
Yeah, I was thinking Zeus just used everything in the first engage, and then he just waits around and stands there and watches them, watches the minions. Bin doing such a good job. He always gets his counter-strike off, gets his auto-attack off as the body slam has been coming in, and this is the repeat gank. You're asking where's the level 6 of the junglers going to go? I believe there's a few more seconds still as we get back to live left on FLICKR's flash, maybe.
Yeah, a few more seconds, but looking back at this kill, very clean, very easy for Bin. And we talked about a confidence play. You can see the confidence shining through for him now. 2 kills top, 2 kills mid. The top side of the map dominating for BLG, a 2K gold lead already 8 minutes in. And the pings are coming through for Herald, and what can T1 do about it? The truth is nothing.
Yeah, there's kind of this big bad Jax up there in the top lane that is just not allowing anything to go down. 64 to 47 in the farm. It was the Gragas picked after seeing the Jax locked in. This was the answer that T1 said they wanted to go with, and Bin just seems to know the matchup better.
Angry Bin, he's going to do everything. Get a couple of solo kills, go start up that Rift Herald for you. Meanwhile, On making his roam mid through 2 to get priority. That means bottom lane's left open, T1. Small window and a nice bit of communication here from BLG. I think. Elk knows he's in danger. He's going to go
he's face checking.
check it.
Face check into the brush.
Whoa.
The feathers fly.
Okay.
Oner disengages.
Got
Okay.
his team coming.
Damn, I wasn't expecting. I thought he'd drop a ward. And I didn't think he'd use his face to check it, but there we are. Elk ends up being alive, so good news for BLG fans. They're still in the lead, and they hold control over the objectives. First Herald, first Dragon, everything looking up for BLG, and if they wanted to, they could drop that Herald top lane. They don't necessarily need to unlock mid right now. Why not just accelerate bin? We talked about how difficult it's going to be for Gumayusi on this Jinx to play these late game fights. If you're this low mobility AD carry that doesn't have those innate dashes, it's only going to get harder if Jax gets as fed as he's currently getting.
On the other side, maybe just let Ben stay in his arena and have
Also
some
true.
See about the roam time towards that bottom lane, though, that we're talking about. With Scuttle Crab coming up, with minion wave pushing in. Tahm Kench, though, Keria's level 6. It's just such a good denial pick. T1 trying to play some stall game, but BLG's pace that they've set is very quick for this game with all the extra kills that they've been fed super early on. They certainly will have the ability to snowball this.
Yeah, 2 kills plus a Drake. Or 4 kills plus a Drake for a 2K lead, excuse me, just 10 minutes into the game. Total gold on the left side of your screen. You can see BLG, BLG, BLG at numbers 1, 2, and 3. Not a very good sign here for T1 as the Herald is summoned up in the mid lane. That's going to give even more money to Yagao.
So far, it is just the BLG show. You know, coming into this second game, we were talking about how it feels like T1 got a 2-0 this series. BLG looked out of sorts in game 1, but they're refining their form. Of course, still a lot of this game left to go. T1 do have pretty decent scaling, especially with this Jinx back pocket. A single good fight with Gumayusi picking up a number of kills could be all they need. You look at the farm as well. 114 CS, he has a 30 lead.
Massive.
On has been roaming a little bit to assist with the topside plays, leaving Elk kind of vulnerable to ganks, meaning that he has to play a little bit more defensively. So I wouldn't count T1 out just yet. Obviously, the other game going heavily in favor of BLG, but we'll see what T1 can do to turn the game around.
Yeah, it's a good point because On actually came into this tournament with one of the highest roaming time supports in the game. Oftentimes, it is Elk having to make his own money, and he's been quite good at still dealing plenty of damage, even on a lower budget, though.
I'm really going to be looking for that first big fight where we have, 4 or 5 players from each side in there, because that's really where Jinx has the opportunity to find those pop-offs that you're talking about, Vedius. We need to see resets turn into stats that make up for the gold difference that BLG has earned for themselves so far in the first 12 minutes of the game. Until then, the Gumayusi farm train needs to keep chugging along the tracks as T1 is going to start up this Drake. We'll see if they can get it before BLG can interfere. Bin and Zeus just scrapping up here in the top side, as now we are going to see a TP coming in, but it's from Yagao, who just picked up the Leandries. Oner's going to lose the opportunity for his combo, and the Dragon's going over to T1. But what about the fight? On trying to get away. Guma wants to get excited. Beautiful engage with Yagao. T1 may lose their jungler, but they're going to get 3, and a Drake back for it.
It only takes a single fight, and Gumayusi finds himself 2 kills. BLG, why wouldn't you feel confident walking into that fight? The problem is you're a little late. Yagao TP's in over the wall. It means that BLG are a little disconnected in their engage. When Jun goes in, T1 can all immediately collapse onto the jungler of BLG, find that initial pick, turn it into a 4v3, and then chase down the remaining BLG members.
I want to point out the position of the DPS. Look at T1. FLICKR and Guma, when Shun goes in, to your point, they're immediately onto him. And even though Guma's getting bounced around, FLICKR's able to do so much damage that Oner's able to get that kill, and then they run them forward.
This front-to-back play from T1 was clean. And already that goal gap is starting to shrink, and crucially, that bot lane that we talked about earlier, 2 kills now for the AD carry of T1.
I said I wanted that first fight with 4 or 5 people from each side to be meaningful, and there it was. T1 finding their opportunity, but the problem is still the top lane for them. If you're looking at what's going on up there, Bin could be a serious issue, and if you're BLG, that's something you know you can play around as the game goes forward. On's going to be caught by Shockwave. He could not live through it, and FLICKR's on the board.
BLG just got Keria's flash, but T1 got On's life for that one. He no longer had his flash from the previous play, and T1, they're retaking control. Still behind in gold, but they're making play after play.
But we've all seen it where the wind gets taken out of your sails, right? BLG were moving cleanly around the map. They had a dominant top side, they had a dominant mid, and then off of a single kind of lackluster dragon, they immediately concede another pick, and you can see now that like they've kind of lost that control. It's not over yet.
Oh, nice catch, BLG. More money on Yagao. MasterCard Lane Economy snapshot shows Guma might be the one with all the cash on T1's side, but Yagao's even further ahead for BLG.
And I love this from BLG. Don't slow down. Don't kind of let that control shift in favor of T1. Remember what you were doing. Jun and Yagao is still a powerful duo, and they punish Keria for the flash that they found earlier. They hold on to the gold lead for now. The Herald is spawning in a few seconds, and I imagine this will be the next objective that both these teams look to fight for.
And you can see the lane assignments here, trying to send Jax to go answer Orianna on the bottom side for BLG as that objective does come up. We saw this one in its entirety. Something to note though, FLICKR did flash offensively for it, and those offensive flashes can sometimes be tricky.
He just
control ward there.
Oh, but back at live, we have a TP coming in. It looks like the second Herald could be a point of contention here. T1's already got 5 bodies in the area. Bin has TP. He could join up for this if BLG want to challenge it. Chompers are great to block off that little pathway from the river into the blue side jungle. So it looks like BLG are just going to take it. They'll trade it away for Bin, grabbing the tier 1 turret there in the bottom lane. 15.5 minutes into the game, the plates are down, so Bin can do a lot of damage to this thing very quickly. Mid lane tier 1 turret, taking a little bit of damage from T1. Low enough now that the Herald should be able to break it. Scatter the weak onto 2. Keria having to get away, pops the thick skin to survive this unleashed power that likely would have killed him otherwise.
I see a lot of pings, blue pings here up towards FLICKR. So they're sending a contingent of BLG members to go for him and to teleport.
Okay, TP's in there. That's Bin. That's the one they got to watch out for. Oner tries to stop him. Zeus is ready to join the fight. He TP's in now as well. Both top laners going to have synced up unleashed teleport timers here for the next time that's available.
And that was BLG being like, you know what? Remember that offensively flown FLICKR flash in mid lane. Let's try and pick him off. But that's a tale as old as time. People trying to go for FLICKR. T1, he just pulls back. The rest of the team is there. And now we got to reset for Dragon. Only 35 seconds means you better get your control ward now.
No TPs available for T1, mean that there should be a window for Yagao. He's actually going to stay for another wave, or not. He's a bit indecisive. But it's easy for him to join the fight. Good vision setup from T1 around that neutral. It always makes me suspicious when the observers zoom in on an AD carry. Like, what's about to happen?
What did he miss?
Yep.
Nice sidestep there from Elk, getting away from the zaps.
But right now it's just this fight over the mid wave, right? T1 are first to it. They'll push through. You can see Zeus has made his way down. And Bin has actually chosen to stay top, so they can't fight this now.
If Oner had that timing slightly different, you can interrupt him when he's in the air from the blast cone, but no worries.
And I like these calls from BLG because they want to play to where they are winning, the side lanes. Bin had an advantage and Yagao had an advantage, but their AD carry, they're outgunned. Well, can he do enough? Does the wave clear? But they're outgunned, so they didn't want to take the 5-on-5 versus Gumayusi, who had a BF sword to the long sword previously. Now we just had a recall for Elk, and Elk is able to go even up the inventories, but it's at the cost of your tempo.
To the tier 2. The top tower still lives as well.
Gumayushi's excited, but all right, they're going to back away from it. They don't want to get collapsed on. They know that Bin is moving around. He's no longer top. He's no longer pressuring the tier 1. All right, no fight. Keria takes his place next to Gumayusi once again.
This is a timing for BLG to actually start pressuring that tier 1 in mid. But with the range on Gumayusi, he's going to have enough wave clear. FLICKR.
Nice, the Shockwave going to catch on, force out the ulti there from the Alistar. That's all they're going to get though, trade of ulti. Shockwave for the Unbreakable Will.
Look at top, though. You see once again Shun hovering around Bin, looking for a potential play, maybe a dive. But no, it looks like with the wave clear from Zeus, flash.
Oh, Oner just flashing in, looking for the damage here onto Elk. Nearly finds him. Super Mega Death Rocket ain't gonna get it, but the flag will be planted on the corpse of the enemy AD carry. BLG trying to get away now, as they will not finish off Oner. Meanwhile, Bin and Shun not gonna get anything topside here versus Zeus.
Beautiful stuff there. Keria is there to save Oner as he goes in and kills Elk. The Jarvan pick into the Xayah, so clutch there. And that's going to be the tower on it. On top of it, this is supreme control
Even
from
game.
T1.
I'm surprised that Elk held on to his ultimate for so long. Look how much damage he takes before he throws it out. He does have flash himself. He could just flash away here to safety. Gets hit by the zap. Now he ults. At this point, you're just guaranteed to die. And then Keria with the flash devour means that the Jarvan lives. There's no way to get that kill because he has the shield. And frankly, a bit of disrespect coming out from Elk. I feel like he had so many tools to live there, but he didn't want to burn them, and he ends up burning them all anyway.
Yeah. Early flash the Jarvan Cataclysm and just try and take that worse cooldown trade, but at least keep your life.
Yeah, I mean, Oner forced him into a very difficult situation, right? Which
he burned it anyway.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where I'm going to flash, but now you have to flash, which means you're not going to have it for the next fight. And the idea is good there. Oner, that's all he's trying to do, get those summoner spells out. He wasn't planning on getting the life, but he'll take it. Now T1 have basically equalized the kills. You talked about how it's an even game, Flowers, and T1, it definitely feels like the momentum has swung in their favor as BLG is only really getting control over the side lanes.
And Gumayusi is getting Infinity Edge completed, so the Jinx is going to be more of a problem than ever. I feel like if you want to kill him in one of these fights, the only way to do it is if Keria stands too close to the Jinx, and you get a two-man knockup from the Alistar, two-man stun from the Counter-Strike, some way that you can kill him before the Kench can devour him, because Gumayusi is a problem.
And with T1 continually starting out these fights by chunking down on, I mean, last time they even got his ultimate and half-healthed him, but now he's behind them with a big flank.
He's looking for the flank. Beautiful two-man stun. Gumayusi gets hit by it. On's coming around from the side. Guma's got to be careful, but Shun flashes back over the wall off to the left, keeping himself alive as Elk gets trapped in the Cataclysm here. Yet again, the feathers fly. Oner tries to stay alive. A dunk from the Super Mega Death Rocket. A double kill of Gumayusi. He's excited, and he just can't fight it. T1 are turning this game on its head and suplexing BLG right back into their base.
A disconnected fight is punished so cleanly from T1. FLICKR, he ended up being the target of Shun's ultimate because he knew that the Devour from Keria was going to protect the AD carry. He thought that he could catch FLICKR off guard, but T1 responding kind. BLG don't actually follow up, so keep your eyes. Good stun here from Yagao. Shun turns his attention to FLICKR, but there's no one there with him. It's T1 that collapses first, then On locks down Keria. Meanwhile, Gumayusi is completely safe on the backline, while it's Elk that gets assassinated by the ultimate from Gumayusi.
Guma Jinx stays safe the whole time, turns around the double. Beautiful stuff from them. I mean, it's so difficult because there's a Tahm Kench right next to the Jinx, and then FLICKR has the crown of the Shattered Queen, so then he ults over there, and Shun's forced to flash out, as you say, with no health. They kind of lost the fight right at the beginning.
You want to talk about no health? 2 fights in a row now. Oner has walked away with 100 HP remaining on his Jarvan, playing around his limits superbly on this engager.
The one thing, or the two things that they did get in that fight, though, are both of Guma's summoner spells. And Guma had been holding his summoner spells very closely, really relying on Keria. Now that those are both down, maybe they can do something about this Jinx. All you have to worry about now is the Tahm Kench ultimate and the rest of the peel from T1.
Well, man, if I'm looking at BLG win conditions right now, I'm looking at the man on my screen, Yagao, 4-1-0 on this Syndra. We've been seeing him hit Scatter the Weeks left, right, and center this game. I feel like if BLG want to stop the momentum swing that T1's been earning for themselves, Yagao's the man who's got to do it.
And I think that they have to commit to the split push. Bin has Hullbreaker built on the Jax. That's where they got their early leads. Him getting back-to-back solo kills. Bin has got to do Bin things. He has got to take over. He has got to create pressure and kind of force his own win con on the game.
Problem is, T1 have an easy answer to that, and it's called Baron. You start that objective and you say, listen, do you want to take this gamble against Jinx, Orianna? We're going to mount this objective. If you don't TP in, then we're going to secure it. They get the TP, and then they can leave. or they can even choose to take the fight if they feel like they're in a strong enough position. So I feel like that they actually have answers to mitigate this split push, and this is where I start to get concerned for BLG. Right now, they're taking what objectives on the map they can, but they still haven't been able to break open this mid-tier 1, which would give them so much more control over the enemy jungle.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That top lane, tier 1 gone. Finally, the gold lead was back in BLG's favor just for a second, but not really any longer than that. It's so even here in this game. T1 being on soul point now. The next Drake should be highly contested, I feel like, just because the power of that soul can be so overwhelming. Of course, Cloud Drake is one of the ones that becomes more subjective depending on the team comp, depending on exactly which champions you have available. For something like Tahm Kench, it can be super strong because you become just an F1 car once you devour somebody.
I am the speed.
Yeah, like, you're just crazy fast. But we'll see exactly what they want to fight over here next, as Bin is trying to keep that split push dream alive. Meanwhile, the rest of BLG just keeping some control, some vision here in the top side river. They do not want to allow that Baron to go over, specifically because of what you were talking about earlier, Kobe.
Oh, I just want to see the Formula One catfish. Keria certainly would be quite the driver, you have to think. But it's kind of hard, I guess. You know, Bin, even with the hull breaker, Gragas just kind of holds the wave in front of tower. Zeus is why you pick the neutralizing pick of the Gragas, allowing the rest of T1 here to wait out and buy time for Guma's double summoner spells to come back up. He already has the Ghost, only a little bit left on his flash, and T1 can try and pull off that team fight again.
And when you're talking about the Gragas being a neutralizer, just stopping the Jax by surviving, he's got the 2 powerful active items that do that. The Everfrost, the Zhonyas. These are great at buying time to be able to stop Jax from doing what he wants to do. On level 9 on the Alistar, lowest level in the game right now. We've been talking about how he's been getting chunked out, even having to blow his ult before these fights start. As now they go in after Oner, but nicely buffered. Gumayusi survives the unleashed power thanks to Keria.
The counter explode you button. This is a large part of why they picked the Tahm Kench into the Vi and into the...
Oh, but they go back in. Now they're going to look for FLICKR, who has to try to get away. Headbutt pole will be flashed out of. T1 will keep both their carries alive here.
On tried to predict the flash there from FLICKR. You saw the W in, and then On actually matched the flash. Unfortunately, he was a little bit short. Couldn't quite connect onto FLICKR, which means that FLICKR will get away with his life. But BLG feeling a lot more confident with their mid control. They're moving towards the Baron now. No way they're going to start this one off.
It would be madness. Nope, okay.
Maybe that is BLG.
Yeah, that prediction, though, that was so close to working. On was thinking FLICKR's going to go right towards this tower, but FLICKR's angle on his flash, a little bit more down the corridor, not directly back towards it, so just on the outskirts.
There's a reason he's the GOAT, man. Just the smallest things can make the biggest differences.
True. An elusive goat. It's very difficult to pin down.
The way you
FLICKR.
said that is different from the way that he said it. I don't know why, but there was like an inflection thing. I don't know.
Kobe's implying there's some goat trying to hide around the barnyard.
Have you seen the mountain goats up on those tiny cliffs? Like, it is crazy. Right,
they're trying to catch Oner this time, but instead it's On, and Gumayusi's unstoppable. They found Yagao! Shut down for FLICKR! Enemy mid, dead! Enemy engaged, dead! Baron is the target for T1.
T1's gonna get that for sure, unless Shun does a crazy miracle, but they're sending Zeus right for him. The 2 bouncers here, Keria and Zeus, gonna make sure he's getting nowhere near that thing.
It's not getting an opportunity to even try.
Oh, but they got it with the tongue lash. Elk has to flash over the wall. Elk with a potential massive outplay, and Zeus goes into the stasis, but he keeps himself alive. Gumayusi is dominating, and Bin will not find the stun here with a counter strike. They got the Baron. They got back into mid. They kept everybody alive. T1 have grabbed control of this game.
Unbelievable. The early game was so dominant from BLG, but we talked about how they only need a single team fight. Oner finds the play. On thinks that he's caught Oner off guard. Yagao and On, they think that they see an opportunity, but look at the minimap. The rest of BLG aren't anywhere near. Nice flash from Oner, the follow-up from Keria, the kill from FLICKR. Everything is so clean. And then you see here, Shun trying to get something back, but it's just not enough.
Yeah, they try and push down mid, and then Elk here, looking for the big burst play with the Blade Crawler. He flashes it through, but Zeus has his Zhonyas. He's able to get over to Keria. Keria devours him. FLICKR as well with his Zhonyas. or stopwatch. Not quite sure if he had finished it there. Just
Whatever,
the stopwatch is broken.
Stasis.
It'll be a Zhonya soon.
Yeah.
But
Here comes the soul.
so much denial there from T1 and Guma on this Jinx that we were skeptical in Champ Select. Will he be able to stay safe? Yes, the resounding answer from all of T1 is yes. FLICKR with his crown shattered.
Okay, Oner with the engage, forcing the flash at Yagao. Beautiful flag and drag right back out over the wall. Bin gonna be the target now as On looks to try to provide some disruption. Shun back over with the ball breaker, but he ain't gonna find a whole lot. Re-engage from Oner. Stopwatch to stop them in their tracks. Oh my goodness, it's T1! Just absolutely rolling over him. Double kill for Guma, triple kill for Guma. Oner picks up another. Bin's the last man left alive, and he's gonna walk home with a broken leg. T1 absolutely dominating.
T1 barely walk away with a scratch. The damage is completely mitigated. Stopwatches, Devour. Keria didn't even use his Devour in the fight.
I mean, Guma flash forward for a dead person to try and get a quadra kill.
It was crazy, just a one-sided fight from T1. We talked about how they've been ramping up throughout this tournament, and T1 are here to play. They're looking to secure a spot in the quarterfinals, and they're looking to do it in convincing fashion.
This game is Guma gets excited, the visual novel. All right, they started out on FLICKR and just look for the first kill. It's a heavy target onto Shun. He does have a stopwatch, but the zap hits before On goes for the engage. There's no DPS follow-up, and once again, these supports have been walking loop pinatas, especially on the Alistar. Going down, Guma gets excited, the rest of them chase forward. The front line for T1.
Oh, hang on, back in the action.
Back in the action yet again. Shun trying to get away. Super Mega Death Rocket not going to find the target, but Gumayusi finds the kill on Elk instead, and they'll happily take that. Bin trying to disengage with a leap strike back to his jungler, but now he's going to be thrown up in the air by Oner yet again. Shut down over to Gumayusi. T1 may have just won the game.
Another convincing fight for T1. BLG just, they have no options in the fights. T1 are just consistently getting the better of them. Shun is forced to retreat. The TP now coming in from both Zeus and FLICKR.
T1 are ready to end it here. The early game was tough. The top lane was rough. And for BLG, it was not enough. T1, the greatest team ever in League of Legends, is ready to bring it back and do it again. They're on the Nexus, and they're on their way to the quarterfinals.
A bit of a revenge for MSI. T1 will take this series over BLG.
Gumayusi, incredible performance on the center. 11-0-3, and just listen to that crowd.
This man, hey, he was the main character from Arcane in this game. I'll tell you that.
That he was. The crowd fully in support of T1. And again, you can't talk about the AD carry without talking about the support. Keria back-to-back Tahm Kench games. Wow, what a performance. He was executioner in game 1. He was defender in game 2. The man had an incredible series. This bot lane had an incredible series.
He attacks and he protects.
That he does, Kobe.
Well, let's not forget this isn't the end of the road for BLG either. They will move on to play tomorrow in the last day of the Swiss stage. 2-0.
That stare! Oh, that stare!
That's beautiful. They're out for blood. Thumbs up. Oh, man, T1 are going to be a frightening opponent for whoever has to face them next. Oh, yeah, I love these guys, man.
The energy is good from T1. They continue their record, only dropping a single game. While it's not a group stage, the Swiss stage, they maintain their record throughout history, only dropping that single game.
And this team, with these players, been put together. They've been in so many finals. With the rumors of them not staying together, I really want to see them get one.
We'll see how far they can go. They're looking good in this series. T1, I think that there were question marks for me, at least, coming into this series. What level is T1 at? Because I feel like that we didn't really get a clear gauge. I think they've made it quite loud and clear where they are at in this tournament, and they're looking to be a contender.
I mean, when you look at the games that they played previously, the 3 matches beforehand, they lost to Gen G, which is the top team from their own region, and then they beat 2 North American teams, which are generally not considered as close to Korea in power level at all. So you're kind of wondering. I think it's the natural reaction to be like, where the hell are these guys actually in the standings? And now going up against BLG, I see.
They're up there. They're definitely up there.
They are up there indeed. All right, now with everything said and done, the dust settled for today, we're going to toss it back over to the world's cooldown.
Thank you so much. The dust has not quite settled because we have a draw show coming up. And I'm scared. But T1, though, they don't want to take that risk. They want to go straight to the quarterfinals. Now, we've still got Dokla here, and he was actually not able to watch a lot of that game, so I'm going to ask him a question. You're a Jax, and you're up versus a Gragas.
Okay.
And you solo kill him, and after that, you just kill him a whole bunch of times, and you've basically got the lane kingdom. What do you think happens in the rest of the game?
You lose because top lane doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's right, Maurits. That's what happened.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked. Coming into the day, I did favor T1 because I think that we've seen the blue side thus far be more favorable. I also think that T1 just always naturally scales well into Worlds. And the previous game reminded me very much of the first game that NRG, you guys actually played, where you have a really clear plan and it works out well. The second game, though, I'm baffled because we did not see T1 teamfight this well for, in my opinion, the entirety of summer.
But what I will also say is for most of summer, they were picking hard-winning lanes and trying to just outskill their opponent 24/7.
I know.
This was actually a team fight comp.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah, but they
group up,
didn't do that.
But they team fought really well with the team
Yeah, I
fight
know
comp.
they can, but they didn't do that,
And they
Jan.
won
I'm
the team
telling
fights.
you.
Are you disappointed that Zeus started off badly?
No, I mean, obviously, I
don't
would.
care.
No, because he's playing against one of the best tops in the tournament.
Yeah.
He made a mistake, and then against a player like Bin, you don't get to do that. But the coordination of this team was something that in summer, even before FLICKR's injury, just it wasn't that good, right? Like they won just off of hand stiffing people, and then I'm looking at this, and the front to back is really, really consistent.
Man. What a
I'm
day.
actually impressed at how they evolved.
I feel like both underdogs won today. Dokla may, contest that they would have been favored in the G2 game. But yeah, I was a little worried for T1 here. I know they have so much fan support, but the history of Worlds in Korea, T1 actually hasn't appeared. They've missed Worlds the 2 previous years it's been in Korea. When it was in Korea in 2018 was actually Korea's worst year ever.
Yeah.
So with this much fan support, sometimes that can just add pressure, but I feel like they really leaned into it and played at an extremely high level today.
Yeah, FLICKR's being talked to on stage. We're also going to talk to T1, but it's going to be post-draw, I believe, because... Wait, I think tomorrow we're actually drawing for the bracket stage, so they wouldn't actually be affected.
T1
this
wouldn't be
time
in the
around.
draw, but
No.
BLG's going to be in the draw
Is
because
going
all
to
those
be in
2
the
and 2
draw.
teams. But just like we should have known, I know they changed it from groups to Swiss stage this year, but T1 had never lost more than 1 game in any Worlds group.
Iteration.
And they had already lost the 1.
Imagine having those
So
stats.
they have to 2-0. It's the only way. Yeah, can you imagine this type of world success?
Imagine being so lucky.
And then also to
I could
have
never.
this like 2019, 2021, 2022, and be like, yeah, T1's really underperformed their expectations.
It's crazy.
Like
If they
how
don't win.
high? How high are their expectations?
Tell me about it.
My goodness.
Say, Maurits, you were singing Keria's praises. Do you want to continue that?
Yeah,
here?
because we really got to. Because I think that this is also something that I really wouldn't expect from T1, which is they are at the forefront of a positive meta development. They've been at the forefront of a lot of them. Jin Yumis and
the Caitlins,
yeah, I think
the Ashes, the Callistas.
Yeah, they haven't always worked out. But specifically, his Keria's Kench, sorry, has been to me the most impressive Kench that we have in the LCK, and we have been having a tournament of dive, and the counter dive just hasn't really been there, right? And particularly against BLG, the team that I think plays that style exceptionally well. As FLICKR's behind us,
The
so
FLICKR effect. Oh my
obviously it's going to be very loud. I think that the Kench to me was the biggest difference maker today. In game 1, it kind of blew open the game, but in game 2, it was really just Devour usage and follow up on CC that made the difference.
I see Dokla. You might have to play him, at some point.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many T1 fans here. I
Crazy.
can't imagine what it's going to be like in Busan.
Hey, but you got swarmed. You walked off the desk after the last segment, and there were a lot of people wanting a photo.
Yeah, I mean, that's really surprising because I saw an energy jersey in the crowd.
Yeah,
I did not expect to see that.
every energy jersey here lined up for a photo with those, so it took a while.
Yeah.
There were so many. Hey, since we're stalling in any case for the draw that is about to come, let's talk a little bit about NRG versus G2 because you didn't get to do that yet. And to look at some of the B-roll, if you just woke up, EU fans, go back to sleep. But we're going to take a look. So, now that you've had some time to marinate and like look at everything on Twitter, what do you think was the biggest factor that had you crush him today?
I don't know. I think it's the fact that we're playing on stage, because if this was a scrim, I don't know if this would have been the result. So I think, just we showed up on the day and we played really well. I think shout out to everyone. I think we all performed really well as a team.
Yeah, I think, especially watching you guys all year in North America, I'm still not going to give you credit for anything because I think that gives you more power.
Yeah.
But you do, like every matchup you go into, you're going to look at the lane by lane, and there's so many people that'll say, oh, actually, no, Broken Blade's got the mid advantage and Caps has the mid advantage. But you play so well on stage, and your drafting and teamwork is the differentiator. Like to me, this series, you guys were so connected. Like there were so many plays where there were 2 or 3 people up trying to kill you. You didn't break. That allowed Contracts and the rest of the team to make plays on the other side. It was just incredible teamwork, and I credit you guys for being able to keep your mental this entire time, because watching it, I basically couldn't watch. So your ability to play is
idea.
impressive.
He's like, I'm going to die. I remember that one.
At the front of the desk, he was just like, no. I'm like, it's done. And they're like, no, it's not. The Nexus hasn't fallen now.
Hey, we saw Soaz there coming up to you. We also saw that right before, I think it was the second game that he came to talk to you a little bit. How has that been? Because, we consider him a traitor now, but for you, it's really helpful.
I guess you can consider him a traitor, but I'm happy he's with me, and I'm happy he's coaching me. I think he provides a lot of valuable experience and just wisdom. And if I have a question, I can just talk to him about anything, because he's just a top laner and he knows pretty much exactly what I'm going through. So I'm really happy to have him on my side.
Yeah, it showed. Let's take a look at the bracket, because you don't have to sweat. Maybe you'll sweat tomorrow when it's the bracket draw for the quarterfinal. But okay, we're going into Last Chance Saloon. These are teams that have come down from an 0-2, and these are teams that have been on the brink of qualifying because they were 2-0. I'm looking at you, G2. So what are we thinking? Oh.
So what's the most entertaining set of games?
Listen, I'll sacrifice one of you and just do Fnatic G2. I just want one in the quarterfinal.
So Shox wants the Fnatic G2 guarantee.
Okay, can I then? Well, this is the problem, because that guarantees.
I want to give Joko the next pick.
Ooh.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
You don't have to pick that one. You can pick whatever.
What about G2 Damwon? I think that'd be pretty entertaining.
Oh, the rivalry rematch. They've already played before.
They've already played 2 of these, right?
But it was a really close game, and I feel like DK would want
A
revenge.
best
for
of
that.
3, I like that. I will not survive it, but I would, I would enjoy it.
Logically, you'd want them to play Fnatic, DK, or Weibo, and then probably not BLG or KT, because you haven't played those before.
If we got this, even though I think it would be narratively exciting, I actually personally don't want 2 rematches. I want to have unique. I want to have unique opponents. So let's. Yeah, I don't know.
He's there.
They're
The
setting it up right
the
now.
referee man is here.
Yeah, you guys concede. I just don't want DKKT, Weibo BLG. Like, I don't want.
You don't want the triple interregional.
I don't want the triple regional. That will be my worst case
It
scenario.
would guarantee that every region double edge team
Another
through.
seed.
All these teams are sweating.
But it also guarantees that every region eliminates. So it's,
must be
You think
so
that's
happy.
what entices me?
it's a true double-edged sword if that happens.
It's
actually.
crazy.
They just need a close-up on his face. He's about to
Yeah,
send
where is
him.
he? Are they going to do the slow pan? Please give it to him. Okay, cameraman. Let's see. The man with the biggest pressure on his shoulder. Actually, no, he's just unfazed. He's unbothered.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really big who gets drawn first, because they might be able to get side select given the seedings. So
Correct.
it's actually such a big deal, especially in a best of 3 where you might have two side selects.
I can't help but notice you were fine on either side.
Yeah, 1-1. Undefeated
Yeah,
on
I
both
mean,
sides.
yeah.
Just so people know the rules, the pre-tournament pooling would give you side select, but if the pool is the same, the first team drawn gets the side select.
Yeah, so I'm kind of hoping if you might want to be drawn first in these scenarios if you're the
Maybe.
higher seed.
It's better, yeah.
It's been so important indeed. Our host is Subin Yun and the referee is Sungbo Shim, our absolute legend, and we know that so far. 5 teams, JDG, Genji, LNG, NRG, and T1 have already locked their spot into the knockout stage, but we are still missing 3, because we have 3 best of 3s tomorrow.
Yep.
Of course, it's packed. If you look, for instance, if you're G2, right, and you lost today, or you're BLG and you lost just now, you might be the first best of that plays tomorrow. I think that's kind of insane personally, but you gotta go.
Yeah, the amount of time you have, because you just come off the prep of the opponent that you really wanted to beat, because it will give you a direct seed into the quarterfinals, allow you to dodge JDG and GNG, which that's not bad. And then you have to both cope with the loss and prep for a completely new team that you're not going to know until the end of this draw.
Yes, and since there's 3 quarterfinal spots left, the same as the previous draws, the draw order will decide the matchup. So whatever team gets drawn first, then it's the matchup right after, and the higher seeded teams get side selection for game 1. The match order will not be as it is drawn necessarily. That will be announced later. Oh, I'm so nervous. I don't know what I want.
Oh my god.
This is a lot of talking. I want him to
This
draw.
is crazy.
I want him to draw
This is
these.
more pressure than the game I played. Like, oh my god.
What? there he is!
The crowd.
There he is.
So he did everyone at this tournament a solid with his last draw.
Yeah.
Let's see it again.
Is he gonna be nice to us?
I mean, he kind of carried us.
You carried yourself. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, he went for the one in the
Yeah.
middle.
No hesitation.
Look at the strat. Look at the strat.
All right.
Okay, so
and they're blue.
they're
Okay, team.
pool 4.
Yes.
So it's really hard. The only way they'll get side select is if Weibo gets drawn, because Weibo's also pool 4.
Just no KT. That's all I ask. Please, please,
Don't
Mr.
get
Mr. Ref,
excited.
please don't do it. Don't do it. Come on.
G plus KT would be tragic.
Would be very fitting for KT.
Wow.
Oh my God, is it happening? Well, we at least get one LCK LPL.
Either Deft doesn't defend his title, or KT disappoints again.
Yeah.
It was a 1 in 4.
Oh my god.
1 in 5.
1 in 5.
G2.
Okay. Blue side.
Okay,
Hey, yeah,
1 in
they'll be
3
able to
chance
get
they
blue.
draw Fnatic Shocks, if that's what
Yeah,
you're going
it's
for.
kind of a cursed gift, but I'll take it.
They want it!
They want
Saying
BLG.
Fnatic.
Because that guarantees LPL.
That's what.
I think they're saying
Extra
Fnatic.
voters.
Are they?
Yeah, they are.
They want the
BLG.
I
regional
think they're
kill.
going Fnatic.
Dude, they got thrown to the wolves. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's kind of your own fault that you're in this position.
Yeah, imagine losing to NRG. God.
Fnatic
wow,
Weibo.
That's the
that is a
punishment.
tough
Fnatic
opponent.
Weibo.
G2 BLG and then Fnatic Weibo.
Hey, it's kind of fitting that the last 2 EU seeds have to beat an LPL team in a best of.
Oh man.
The ultimate nemesis
And
of the LEC.
didn't Mickey say in Montpellier, he said, it's ridiculous that people think that an LEC team can't beat an Easter team in a best of. We will do it at least once. Well, you've only got 1 chance left or you're out.
I mean, I don't want to make any predictions. I think
Okay.
that'll be a pretty close series.
Fnatic Weibo is kind of fun.
I mean, yeah. That's one way to look at it.
The cope.
Wow. So the KT,
DK. It was, you know what? If T1 won, maybe it was going to
but honestly, this is tough for EU.
This is very tough.
This is really tough for the LEC.
I think this is about the toughest you can get, but I also think if you're G2, you had your chances. You couldn't expect another draw. It was going to be hard either way.
Sure.
You don't have to bet on getting Fnatic, I think, if you believe in yourself. But it's going to be hard. I'm actually so balding and
That's
so...
the cope. Sit back. Oh my god.
So what I'm wondering now, I think if you're an LPL fan, you're pretty happy, right? Because you have you have BLG, you don't have the team kill. You have Weibo have the opportunity, and I think Weibo is inconsistent.
And
but
they
they're still
can
a strong
get
team.
all 4 teams through,
Yes.
which
Yeah.
is now impossible for the LCK. Meaning, so since that 2013, since like groups were a thing, even though the format was different then, 2013 Samsung didn't make it out. 2018 Gen G didn't make it out. Those are the only times Korea hasn't made it out of group stage. Now it's guaranteed that there will be a third.
It's true. I can't. So when we started the Swiss stage, we thought about all the things that could happen for us to lead into the last day. I don't think this is what we expected at all.
Well, I'm like Thanos. I saw the possibilities of this happening, and this is exactly what I thought about yesterday.
Okay.
This is why you won today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew this was coming.
Yeah.
Hey,
Just
I have some silver lining. I have some silver
What
lining.
is your silver
For
lining?
who?
G2, they played the best teams in the tournament, right?
Oh.
Gen G and NRG. And both of them actually destroyed them. So they should have a lot of practice.
BLG is so good. Like
They're so tricky.
They looked bad today. They flipped that level 1 and lost it, and then they didn't get far enough ahead and lost to a team fight comp against T1 who played. BLG is so good. I don't wanna
Crucially, their
understate.
bot lane is so good.
I don't know.
And the elk guy is not bad.
The elk guy's not bad.
Yeah.
Hey, we still have an interview for you. It's in fact FLICKR standing by with Lore in the Verizon post-game interview.
And we're back here in the interview area after T1 wins here and qualifies for quarterfinals. And of course, I'm with the GOAT, FLICKR, for this interview. Thank you so much for joining me. Congrats on making it to quarterfinals. It feels like it was your best games and best series, best performance since the beginning of Swiss Stage. What did you guys think you improved upon the most?
오늘 정말 역대급 스위스 스테이지에서 제일 최고의 경기력이 나온 것 같습니다. 어떤 부분이 가장 좀 성장했다고 보시나요?
그래도 저희가 좀 이제 초반에 불리하더라도 계속해서 뒤집는 능력이 오늘 나왔던 것 같고 그런 모습 덕분에 이긴 것 같습니다.
I think we managed to make a comeback even though falling a bit short early on. So I think because of that, we were able to win today.
Yeah, obviously, any specifics that you think you guys improved upon when it comes to the team play, the performance to get ready for this match today?
그러면 오늘 경기 준비하면서 좀 집중해서 우리 팀적으로 이 부분을 더 개선해보자 한 부분도 있을까요?
일단 저희가 지난 매치에서 조금 이제 의사소통이 잘 안 되는 부분이 있었기 때문에 그런 부분들을 최대한 개선하려고 했었고 그리고 이제 좀 메타 분석적인 부분에서 열심히 했습니다.
In the previous match, I think our communication was not on point, so we wanted to make sure that we are on the same page today, and also we wanted to also work on our meta read.
I just got the information that DK is gonna play against KT in an elimination game. Who do you think is gonna take this one?
모르겠습니다.
He doesn't know. No
Doesn't know?
idea.
All right, we'll talk about this later. Focusing a bit more on the game you just had, you and Yagao had faced countless time at international events. What is special about playing an opponent that knows you so well, but you know so well as well?
또 페이커 선수와 야가오 선수는 국제 무대에서 만난 적도 정말 많은데 이렇게 상대방도 나를 잘 알고 나도 상대방을 잘 아는 이런 매치업을 플레이할 땐 또 어떠신가요?
이제 뭐 매번 이제 만날 때마다 항상 같은 상대이더라도 좀 다른 스타일을 가지고 있는 경우도 있기 때문에 뭐 크게 의식하고 있지는 않습니다. 새로운 선수를 만날 때처럼 하고 있습니다.
Well, I mean, yeah, it can be the same opponent, but you know, we all come with different play style every new year. So I'm always keeping the mindset that I am playing against a new player every time.
Worlds may feel a bit special for you this year, FLICKR. This is your first time playing Worlds in Korea. You made it to quarterfinals. What is your resolution for the next stage?
그리고 올해 월즈는 또 한국에서 개최되고 한국 월즈는 처음으로 참여하시는 만큼 의미가 남다를 것 같은데요. 이제 8강 진출하셨는데 각오나 목표는 어떻게 되시나요?
네, 한국에서 월드 진행하는 만큼 이번에 꼭 우승하고 싶다는 마음을 가지고 있고 그동안 이제 할 수 있는 최선을 다하는 게 저의 각오입니다.
Because this is Worlds hosted in Korea, I really wish I can win the title, and also my mindset, it's all about doing my best all the time.
Focus on the prize as always. There's a last thing that I want to ask you, kind of a side topic here, but I know that prior to the tournament, Caps gave you a cactus because you like taking care of plants. Did you find a name for this cactus?
이제 개막 전에 캡스 선수가 선인장을 선물해 주셨는데 선인장 이름은 지어 주셨는지 워낙 식물을 잘 가꾸는 걸 좋아하셔서 신경 써서 준비한 선물인데.
네, 제가 항상 또 선인장 선물을 많이 받았었는데 이번에도 해주셔서 정말 감사하다고 생각하고 있고요. 이름은 이제 선생이 잘 안 죽거든요. 그래서 언클러브 디몬 캡터스로 하겠습니다. 네.
So I actually have received a lot of cactus gifts because, I don't know, people give me a lot of cactus as a gift. And because cactus, they tend to not die well. So I named them Unkillable Demon Cactus.
That's very based. Thank you so much. 감사합니다. And good luck on the rest of the tournament. Jisun, thank you so much as always. And Shucks, back to you.
Yeah, what did she just say? Base?
She said base to FLICKR. That was
I love
great.
it. Does anyone remember when he brought a broccoli on stage and just bit it raw?
So
Shall he do the same with a cactus?
No.
Oh, man.
No.
You've lost it.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
This is you draw.
Yeah,
It's rough.
the energy match and the draw just made me... You're gonna have to bring us home, I think.
Yeah, you and me together are not having the best of time here,
No,
Sharks.
but we don't lose faith, okay?
Never. Well,
We don't lose faith.
I can't win. Not
No,
like
no,
one
no,
of my
you win
teams.
regardless.
That's not how
One
it
of them
feels.
wins.
I mean, can you like which one would be better to have in quarters?
Yeah.
I think it would be better to have KT in quarters.
No.
I thought KT would beat T1 if that was the case, but you obviously didn't believe that.
No.
But
He's just salty because LPL is going to get possibly all teams out, and then they're going to hold that over their heads again. This is the order. You get to Malt first. KT Rolster versus
Get it out of the way early. That's good.
tomorrow.
I like
and
that.
then, oh, this is not the order. Sorry. I got
match
baited.
order pending.
I got baited.
Yeah.
Take that away
I think it's I mean, knowing how it's been going is probably the other way around.
It is,
because,
yeah.
But I can't confirm anything, nor deny.
see.
This is not the truth. I just hope I'm not in for 6 hours straight of suffering. Or 2 times 1647.
Me too. I mean, I have rarely been in this situation. I am usually the one that is super doomer. So
Yeah.
There's no NA tiebreakers, you know?
There's
this is
nothing.
weird.
This is odd. You know what? But I'm happy because I've seen you suffer for so long, and
Thank
some
you.
of the other casters as well. So.
And also,
I'm not
it's
there.
all thanks to this man.
Yes.
And his teammates and his coaches.
Amazing.
I actually did nothing.
I'm
for
not
this.
preying on anyone's downfall. But if you were to happen to lose, I wouldn't be too upset. That's all I'm saying.
What? But you already beat them. Ugh, no, you're on my naughty list now. Anyways, tomorrow we're going to be back with the final day of the World's 2023 Swiss stage. I know, it's been a ride, and it's not done yet. 3 best-of-3s to decide who will be going to the quarterfinals and who ends their road here. You can also catch the rebroadcast. And a final reminder also that tomorrow the games are going to start 3 hours earlier, 5 a.m. CET, 9 p.m. PDT. See you then. Good night. Don't cry too much.
I'm already nervous.
I will.
Tomorrow's...
Got it, bro.
Yeah, I'm on the rail. Keep fighting.
On the way. Nice job, guys. No eat, Tahm, no eat.
Yeah. Okay, we can look here for sure.
Go.
Can Santa can TV looking, yeah?
I can look.
Just a nice grip.
No stun.
No flash. Okay. Someone think about mid.
Yeah, I'm going mid.
No, you don't have to.
It's fine.
It's okay.
Come up, bro.
Here.
Looking, fast boy. Moving up. You go straight.
Okay, I'm done all.
Oh, nice.
They lock down the enemy carry on Summer Falls. FBI's free firing. G2 cannot escape. 8-4-0. Energy are on the Rift Herald. They already secured the Drake for themselves. They want to use the knockback. Nicely done from Yike. He gets rid of the enemy jungler. I hate Poppy.
Hey, Poppy, no flash.
Okay.
Look is here.
Okay, Kai.
Look is here.
I'm coming, by the way, guys. I'm coming.
Nice.
They don't see me. Look is here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but...
Oh, Zeus hit. Go.
Broken Blade will be broken in half. Yike and Hans are on the run, but they won't get far. T1 ain't gonna kill anybody just yet. Yagao barely gets away. Oner's ready to swoop in for the Cataclysm, and On gets turned off. Gumayusi flips the switch, and now Shun tries to fire back. Massive double kill over the top. Melee flashing forward. Meganar into the wall. Wallop, rock toss. One more hit'll do it. Xayah solo kills. Bin. Remember, there was no ulti available for Alcon. Goes in, finding a Magnet Storm onto 3, but he ain't gonna find any kills just yet. On is gonna die first. They take out the jungler second. Bin ain't gonna get it. Shun is down. T1 run them over.
As he moves towards his wolf camp. Bin? No.
He's just saying don't.
Oh, he is!
Oh, it does! Oh my goodness, it's T1! Just absolutely rolling over him. Double kill for Guma, triple kill for Guma. T1 absolutely dominating.
Once you play God, they gotta crumble one by one. Then we go right into the sun like it's the day my kingdom come. Baby,
Unstoppable, phenomenal, awakening, the animal.